All right, welcome back to UFC Now. Jen Brown here alongside Kenny Florian, K-Flo, and Brendan Chop.
I don't know what that is.
You're going to give us a little Twitter shout out there, and that
know.
means that it's time for our rapid fire segment. That's right.
Let's do
You guys
this.
sent us your questions on social media.
What you got?
And they are going to
Make
answer
them good.
All right, first up, Exup. I'm going to guess that's how you say his name, wants to know what percentage of a priority would you give to wrestling, Muay Thai, and Jiu-Jitsu in the UFC? Brendan, I'll start with you.
Wow, percentage. What exact percentage?
I would give
Get your math
wrestling
skills here.
51.8% and then figure it out from there. No, wrestling is a good foundation. You have to have some sort of wrestling foundation. And it really, honestly, all jokes aside, I think wrestling should be about 50% and then the others fill in. Because if you can't wrestle, you're going to get taken down. You can't dictate where the fight goes. So you have to have some sort of wrestling heavy foundation.
I agree with Brendan. Actually, I think wrestling is such an important element of the game. Yeah, so I agree. The exact same percentage. I was going to go with 1/3 or 33 and 1/3% or 33.33333
The line over it.
but I decided
Yeah,
not
the
to.
line over it. All right.
Makes sense.
All right, Max Rodriguez wants to know which mixed martial art is used the most in the UFC. Kenny?
Which martial art is used the most?
I shouldn't have said mixed martial
Yeah,
art.
I would say Kung Fu.
Surprising answer.
Surprising, Brendan.
Let's see. Maybe jiu-jitsu, maybe? I don't know. I don't know.
It's tough.
Wrestling,
Obviously,
maybe?
Muay Thai or boxing, I would
Yeah.
say. You know, there's a lot of strike, especially people love striking now. So see a lot of the fighters gravitating towards striking, which they should be focused on wrestling. But
Wrestling, if they listen to
what do I know? What do
you
I know?
All right, Fran O'Reilly wants to know, last question, if you had to pick your favorite moment in history, what would that be and why?
Oh, geez. Let's see.
Of course, UFC history.
all right,
not,
I was gonna-
George Washington.
I was going to go back to the Civil War.
Yeah, I had Abe Lincoln. Threw me for a loop. It's just
My favorite moment in UFC history, let's see. Well, you know what? We talked about it earlier, the TJ Dillashaw, Renan Barão fight, because I think like when TJ Dillashaw won that fight, he stepped up the game for everybody. I think that he really set the bar for every other fighter out there.
Yeah.
I agree. I have two. I have Frank Mir versus Brock Lesnar. One, where Frank pulled off the knee bar, which was epic because I just didn't want Brock to come in and dominate the UFC. And I didn't want to see him beat a jiu-jitsu powerhouse like
Former
Frank Mir.
champ too, yeah.
Former champ, yeah, exactly. And number two, Brendan Schaub LeVar Johnson was epic. I mean, might be one of the most boringest fights in UFC history. Fun for me, though. No, just kidding.
Boringest. We got history,
that's
math,
great.
and English lessons here. All right. That is all the time we have here on today's show. If you want to get in on the Twitter questions for Rapid Fire next week, send them to us on Twitter at UFC_now. We appreciate you watching the show. I'm Jen Brown for Brendan Schaub and Kenny Florian. We will see you next week.
I want to apologize to all the fans for my chest. Sorry.
I'm going to open mine.